CTV senior political correspondent Glenn McGregor joins me now. Glenn, tell me more about this and the man who has pleaded guilty.
Yeah, George Billings, also known as Freedom George, was one of the most public faces at the protests that it occupied Ottawa back in January into February. He was arrested then and was facing 10 different counts of indictments of various charges. He was co-accused with Pat King, who remains in jail at this date. And Billings had been appearing in some of the videos, was kind of infamous for yelling "freedom, freedom" all the time when he appeared in some of Pat King's videos. But police had accused him of intimidation, of interfering with police, of counseling mischief. They withdrew all charges but one in exchange for a guilty plea. So he pled guilty today to counseling to commit mischief. The prosecutor says that was related mostly to his social media posts where he was encouraging people to evade police checkpoints. And he was sentenced to 6 months time served. So he already spent 116 days in jail, and they have a multiplier formula for time you spend in jail before you go to trial, where each day counts for more. So it works out to about 6 months, and he'll also serve 6 months probation. So he was released today, and several dozen supporters outside the Ottawa courthouse treated him like a rock star. It was a jubilant celebration, as if he had been exonerated, which he had not. He now has, Jen, a criminal record, and ironically, one of the things he probably won't be able to do now that he has a criminal record is travel to the United States.
And so what do his probation rules entail? Do we know?
Yeah, they're not particularly onerous. He just has to keep the peace for 6 months. He's not restricted in where he can travel, although his lawyer said that he intends to go back to High Prairie, Alberta, where he was born and raised, and work on his parents' farm and possibly have a career in the trucking industry, which was one of the reasons for the Ottawa protests in the first place. So, but he doesn't have any sort of limitations on what he can do on social media. And I spoke to him briefly when he came out of the courthouse and asked if he regretted anything. And he didn't sound, I gotta say, particularly contrite. He said, well, I was, just charged with mischief, not a big deal. Would there be a future role for him in other protests? Well, people see him in that movement. They see him as a leader. They were, as I say, treating him like a celebrity when he came out there. He was signing T-shirts, signing those yellow jerry cans that we saw so much of at the Ottawa protests. So, and he also wouldn't say kind of what's the future of this movement. There's a concern, especially among police here in Ottawa, that the convoy movement could return to Ottawa, possibly even on Canada Day, which is coming up just a couple of weeks here. It's a big celebration, and there's obviously going to be a much larger police presence watching for kind of convoy-related activity there. Even though most of the things that they were protesting back in January and February have been rescinded. Most of those mandates now are gone, including this week, the suspension of the vaccine mandate for air travel domestically and outbound internationally. So, but it seems like, though, it is still a potent political force. We're going to watch and see, Jan, what happens with the other cases that are working their way through the courts now. Pat King is one, a big one. Tamara Leach, another key organizer. She is back in Medicine Hat on bail, awaiting her trial. James Bowder as well, and Chris Barber. So lots of the big names that were affiliated with this, that were the leaders, their case is still to come. But this one is important to the Crown because it is the first conviction of one of those major figures, Jen, related to the Ottawa protests.
Glenn McGregor with the latest from Ottawa. Thank you.